Good morning, it's Brian with Forest Hills, and let's see, it's Thursday, June 29th, 2023. We were out at Scandinavian Cemetery. We had gotten a little bit of an emergency call yesterday afternoon, so we were on our way back from setting that hand-carved angel, sitting angel bench. So we got a call from here to see if we can do some work this morning real quick. And since the time I quit recording yesterday till this morning, we're on our way home yesterday from Chicagoland area, and our Chevy, that's the only truck running right now. Well, the Dodge runs, but the crane's not working. The Chevy's crane works, but the Chevy ain't working. So on our way home, we're on 39 and 20 if you're from around my area here, and the truck goes into limp mode again. So diesels will go into I don't know much about diesels, but I was told they'll go into a limp mode just to preserve the engine. So if something's going on that could be damaging, it'll drop into limp mode. The problem is we literally just had the EGR replaced, the particulate filter in the exhaust, just had that taken off, baked, cleaned, so there shouldn't be any clogging in the particulate filter that would cause it to drop into limp mode. So you have no power in the truck when it drops into limp mode. So we pretty much crawled from 39 and 20 all the way to Loves Park where our office is at. And that truck is over at the place that's been working on it for this lack of power issue that we're having in that truck. So luckily we made it from Chicago to there and we were able to limp it back to Loves Park, but it's just a nightmare. Just, you know, the place that redid the crane on that truck just had to pay that bill this morning, and then had to pay the bill yesterday for the work that was done out at the cemetery in Byron when it threw the idle bearing and the serpentine belt. So these last couple weeks just been nightmares with truck issues and bleeding money to pay for them, and it's one of those things that I guess that's what you get when you have heavy equipment, and when you're owning your own business, you're gonna have hiccups. I'm just happy that it didn't happen before Memorial Day, because that's our real rush, but still it's kind of backing us up. I've got a lot of stones to set, and then we just bought a bunch of stock inventory, so I think we've got 4 pallets of inventory coming next week, and then, you know, we still have the 6 pallets on the trailer I need to take off, so it's starting to stack up. So we're gonna need to do that, and then I'll throw you on the hat mounted area for what we need to do here this morning. And I got a guy trimming over there, so I apologize, it's gonna be a little bit loud, but I'll throw you up. All right, so Aiden's taking the gator off, and so what they called this for, they have a burial. Let's go ahead and bring it over here. The bench is right there. So they have a burial. We sold this bench a couple years ago, this couch bench, and now they have a burial here where they have it spray painted, and they're worried that this isn't big enough for a grave. Yeah, I mean, it would be right on the edge there, and then you never know what they've got. You know, whenever this road was put in, there's probably a lot of debris and road rock and things like that down here, so I can see why they want to move this. So they want to move this bench, they said like 10 inches towards the fence over here, just so they can have enough room. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna edge out like 10 inches. You listening to this? We're gonna edge out like 10 inches and just probably pick the bench up. We might see if we can just shimmy it with shovels, but we're gonna move it 10 inches that way so they can do the burial, and then it's gonna be coming back, you know, to stay in line with these stones. So that's what we're working on this morning, and we'll might set you up. I know I do a lot of tripod time lapses, but a lot of this stuff's the same stuff, but a little bit different, but the same, you know what I mean? So we'll do that, and we'll hopefully be quick and get out of here quick. So we'll do that. Alright, so we're just getting back to the office. Gonna check in with the wife, see what is on the docket, and hopefully that's all right there. We'll see. Gotta go dig a cremation grave, so I know we're gonna go do that, but I want to check and see if there's anything else. So the lady over there at Scandinavian brought me over and showed me that we had already done the foundation for this stone. So this up right here with the recessed black tiles goes over to that cemetery, and the foundation's already done, so that's nice. That one also goes over there, that slant goes over there, and then there's a handful of flush markers. So I was telling her maybe tomorrow we got 1, 2, 3, 4 flush markers. Looks like we got 4 flush markers that go over there. So if I don't have a truck, maybe we'll go over there and put those flush markers in, just throw them in the back of my truck. So we'll see what Beth has to say. She might be on the phone still.
About, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago asking about it, and she was like, and I was told that, you know, we just hadn't paid for it. So
yep, the bride's still on the phone, so we'll check with her. I don't think we need anything here, Aiden, to go dig a cremation grave. So I'll check back in with you once she's ready on the phone, and then more than likely they're just running up there. All right, I don't know if he marked this either, but we're here at Rockton Cemetery, so we are going to dig. Looks like there's a flag over there, so that is, according to the map, right about where we're going to be going. So I got a call yesterday about this cremation burial that's going to be on Saturday. So doing these type of things, you have to pretty much be ready to just drop whatever you're doing to be able to go take care of a service, because the services, you know, they don't wait, so you have to get them. You have to get them done. So I'm gonna go walk over there and take a look. Make sure you're recording. I'm gonna go over there and take a look. Make sure that's our grave space. I bought some new clipboards. Hey bud, I'm gonna walk over there. So looking for George Sly. Looks like he might have a marker already. George Sly. There he is. So this is where the Saturday burial will be. So we'll go ahead, get this dug. We did forget to bring a board to cover this, so we're gonna have to go over to the maintenance building and find one over there. Alright, so here's the new road that the town put in. It's along the channel over there. So they've got new sidewalk. That's kind of weird. Look how it dips right there.
Yeah.
New sidewalk, new road, new curbing. Here's one of the benches that we put in. I don't think they had to move that one. And then the other one that we put in, I thought was around here somewhere. And then there's another one further back. All right, so there's one here. Is this one?
Which one?
Billick? Thought he had stuff on the back of his bench. You want to see if that's Billick?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna go out and see if this thing's no longer sealed. Let me put my 4-ways on. What's moved? Okay, so it must have slid a little bit. Jesus. And it's all super dirty. But I don't think the bench is probably loose. It's just got loose here. You want to grab that side and move it back? Just be careful. And then try to lift up and pull towards you. We're gonna go to where it's on there again.
I can't see it.
Yeah. You can see mine, right?
Yeah, I can actually.
Okay. So it's at least back where it was, and then when we get our truck crane back, we'll probably come over here and just park on the road and grab the whole bench and lift it up and then rejoin tight under the legs. But I'll call her and let her know we at least moved it back to where it was. And then, man, that water is dirty. So there's a dam over there, and I don't know where it goes after that, but this basically they put in, I feel like, just to relieve the Rock River when it gets too high. So I'm surprised there's even as much water in here as there is. But that's what we're doing for this guy today. I don't know where our other bench got moved to. But at least it looks like they did an alright job getting that back down. Alright, so we are back to where it all started this morning. Back at Scandinavian Cemetery. Still have that same kind of smog everywhere from those Canadian wildfires. So the sun's not beating on us, but it is like 90 degrees outside. So it's still super hot. And lady from the office is here. She's going to show us where this... So we're going to dig and pour a foundation while we've got the time, and it's something we can do without having the truck. So I will... She said it was over here where we were looking this morning, so it's probably this grave right here. So I'll chat with her and come back. All right. So it's not an issue, but they have a very nice layout to the cemetery where they have a lot of their monument rows are either on shrub rows or there's trees by them, and it always seems like we have to do some stuff to it in order to dig. So we went and grabbed one of their tools, so we're gonna prune this up so we can even get in there, and then we'll have some roots and stuff to deal with, I'm sure, from that tree. But we're gonna do it'll be a 3 foot by 1 foot foundation for a stone that I think we're scheduled to have the stone completed next week. So we've got a stone that's already done at our office that goes on that side, so we did that in the fall. And then this stone we'll have in a week or two done. And then they just started doing this where they edged around the rows and they're mulching them. So when I was talking to Kirsten, they're gonna extend this now that there's 2 stones and extend that out the rest of the way. Where are those clippers at?
I've got them.
You wanna hand them to me, will you? So the top part of this monument that we are doing is like, I think it's either 26 or 28 inches tall. So we did this one 2 years ago. This one's a 20-inch tall die. So it'll be the same base, but then the top piece is gonna be probably somewhere up there. So we've got to raise this at least to that height, and then also it's gonna help us because we got to be able to get in here to dig. So
this was all from below. Pretty good size limb down here. That's probably good, huh? Yeah. I don't know if we need to take those 2 out over there on the left. Possibly. I think we are at the very least for... The stone's gonna be here. So So those are the next nearest ones, and then even for getting in there to dig. Yeah. Take that one and that one, so that opens it up quite a bit.
Okay. Is that okay? So here's the next thing. Getting a string line down. So I'll go dump those if you want to get a string line. So dump this in their brush pile. It looks like it. Looks like it's right on. And it's pretty much the exact width of the grave. All right, I'm gonna start digging this out, so we'll see how many roots we've got to contend with. Luckily, I think I felt a root on every shovel. So, and then this spade's about 6 inches wide. Hear that? That's the sound of pure sweat on a hot day when you dig that root out. You want to move that tape? Thank you. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you with digging this. We're going to dig this out and then I'll bring you back in once we're... Is that a knee slap in good time?
Bug.
Once we're back to pouring concrete, show you that. And we're back. So Aiden likes mixing these, so we'll get it flat for him. So we've got our bagged concrete in the hole here as much as we want. So this was this 36 bags of concrete? Something like that.
Yep.
And then so we like to mix these in the hole. So he'll fill in that hole with water, and then you want to mix it?
Sure.
He usually likes mixing it, so mix up that end. We usually do that end first. I don't know if you can tell, but we're on a decent slope here, so we'll mix up that end, and the water is just gonna run downhill, so it'll get to the other side after he's done mixing that half. That stone on the other side's here, so we're gonna probably... So I just got a call that the Chevy's done being looked at, so you know, we cleared all the EGR stuff. It was going into limp mode. Went back into limp mode yesterday after everything's all been cleared, and I just got a call from Midwest Fleet Solutions. So they're the ones that came out to Byron and helped us out, and then they're the ones that get all the emission stuff all back in order. So they were looking at it again to try to figure out why I went into limp mode, and they just called and said that they're done. So Chevy should be ready to go. So that was a great phone call. So they're good people over there. If you're in the Northern Illinois area by Loves Park, so I think they service probably just to the southern tip of Wisconsin, and you know, roughly, I think he said like a 60 to 90 mile radius. They're great people. They come out and work on your equipment right on the spot, mostly big diesel equipment, semis and things like that, but they're great people. They sent me over an invoice for looking at it, you know, today, trying to figure out why I went in limp mode, and the invoice was for $0. So they're nice enough to go over it and check and see what all the new codes were. So he said he plugged the truck in and they had 11 new codes. It sounds like most of them were just sensors that needed to be cleaned off, so that's good. So he just cleaned all those off, just doing us a favor. So we'll probably send them over pizza or something tomorrow. So we appreciate them looking at. We appreciate getting a truck back in order. It's tough when you don't have a crane, and I don't have a trailer to really put stones in anymore. I can put them in here. When I first started off, I had an old 1980s pickup that I was pulling like a deck between the axle trailer that had a tailgate that went down like that, so I could wheel stones up onto that trailer with this cart, and that's how I used to set stones. I never had a crane truck, and I could still do that if I had a trailer that I could do it with. I could probably do it with this one. It's got some tie down spots, but this trailer is really for holding 2 motorcycles. So the tie down, like, you know, they're just kind of in wonky areas. Not a real great setup for tying stones down, but I could if I had to. But you don't realize how nice it is to have that crane that's doing all that lifting just by the buttons, you know. So having that's just a blessing. It's honestly like having 2 employees moving stones around. So if we can, we like to use it. So Aiden's just about done mixing that up. And we're gonna head back to the shop. Probably not gonna have anything else to record today. But this foundation will be all, it'll be all set up and cured by the time that stone's done. Like I said, I think we've got another week or 2 until that one's completed, so it'll be nice and set up. And what I was originally getting at is, now that we have a truck, I gotta figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. So I don't know if we're gonna try to get some stones delivered in the morning. One of our family friends lost their father, unfortunately, so the burial is actually here tomorrow. It's on the other side of the cemetery by the office, but our plan was to work here tomorrow so that I could be here for that funeral service. They offered if I wanted to either do the setup or help be involved with the setup tomorrow, and you know, I don't need to be that involved. They know what they're doing. So one of the local vault companies is doing the set, and they asked too if I wanted to help, and that's okay. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, if we're gonna deliver some pieces in the morning and then try to be here for the funeral service, and then maybe set a couple stones after the service. So I'll talk it over with the boss tonight. We'll maybe sit around a campfire, keep us warm. It's only in the low 90s right now. So maybe we'll do that. We'll talk about it, figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow, and then I will see you guys in the morning. And feel free to do those YouTube things. If you're new to the channel, hit that sub button. We'll be back doing this pretty much every day. We'll see you guys in the next one.